So this video is gonna be a little different. I kind of wanted to respond to a video to some YouTuber, not about me though, because I'm not that big yet. But I wanted to respond to a video on a YouTuber talking about skill-based matchmaking. Now I've seen this YouTuber before. If you don't know him, he goes by the name of JbowenDaMan's, something like that. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Forgive me if I didn't. But he goes by that name, and I did watch this guy before. I mentioned him before on the channel somewhere. I don't remember which video, but I mentioned him before. And from what I've seen with his videos, because I've watched some of them, what I've seen from his video is that he bounced back and forth between opinions. So whatever he's thinking that day, his video he makes, whatever he's thinking. So for example, if a new weapon come out, this weapon sucks that day. If he's thinking about it today, this weapon sucks, he'll make a video about it. Like, that's just an example, not that he specifically made that video, but he'll say this weapon sucks, and then the next day they'll patch the weapon, this weapon's good. So he'll make little videos on certain things that don't need to be made, like skill-based matchmaking. Everybody knows skill-based matchmaking suck. Nobody should be defending it, period. But I guess he heard of a video, he watched a video, and it made him think about it, which to me, from watching his video, it doesn't seem like he thought about anything, because his points to me didn't make any sense. So I'm going to give some my opinion on the matter. But from what I've seen, the title is very clickbaited. I mean, it don't even have a question mark, it has an exclamation mark. When I seen it in my recommendation, I had to click it, because I'm like, who is actually defending skill-based matchmaking? So let's just get straight into it.
Trying to make a point that, of course, us, the whole Call of Duty community, have been asking for the skill-based matchmaking to be toned down for ages. We keep saying that it's way too sweaty, way too competitive, and we don't want to sweat 24/7 when we're playing COD. Now, his point was, if the developers listened to that feedback and they removed skill-based matchmaking, would those individuals actually play casually?
So before we keep going, I kind of wanted to give my pointers there. Yeah, I believe so. I believe if we do remove skill-based matchmaking in total, I believe most sweats would die down. I believe so. And I will give my explanation later, but I believe it will. Because let's look back in Black Ops 1. Let's look COD 4. I know the franchise was just starting there, even in Black Ops 2. Remember Black Ops 2 used to be sweaty? What did they do? They brought league play because they knew it was competitive. When we went back to Black Ops 1, they knew it was competitive. So in Black Ops 2, they brought league play, so that sweats can go there. That's what it was, just a normal rank match. So I believe it will die down, especially if they bring back league mode for sure. It will. Skill-based matchmaking will, if it's removed, it will for sure be died down. I have a big feeling, because let's be honest, if they have to protect the noobs, that means there are a lot of noobs. And if people are reverse boosting and they're getting noob lobbies constantly, that means there are a lot of noobs. And if you do take out skill-based matchmaking, for sure, sweats will go, and you add league play, sweats will go away and play other sweats if they really want to compete, because that's how it was in Black Ops 2.
Now, you got to think, a lot of the people who are already playing casually, a lot of people who don't care, a lot of bad matches don't really bother them. The only people who actually care about getting their butts whooped again and again and again are people who have a little bit of a competitive nature. Even if they're not trying to play competitively, they still have a competitive nature. They lose a game, they get trash talked, they're still going to get a little feisty, they're still going to get a little angry about it. You know what I'm saying? But the point that I'm trying to make is the people with that type of nature, the individuals who are begging for skill-based matchmaking to be removed right now, if they actually did remove it, I gotta say, I could totally see over half of us continuously sweating.
Now, I wouldn't say over half of us, because there are people still trying to get the camouflage, and there are people that play the game normally. Like, imagine you come home from work and there are all casuals playing. That's a good game. Have you ever dropped a chopper gunner by not, even trying? By just, casually playing, and the other team is doing okay too, and it's not people sweating, jumping around corners, sliding around corners. Have you ever played a game that way? Have you ever played a game with just the shotguns? just messing around with the shotguns, those are competitive too. Like, that could be competitive also. But those are also casual, where I don't care about KD. Have you ever played with just the throwing knives in MW2 with the shield? Have you ever just ran around with the knives? Those are casual gameplay. You don't always have to go for, a high kill death ratio to be competitive, if I'm being honest. But I think if you take out skill-based matchmaking and bring league play, for sure, it's like he's forgetting about league play. For sure, the population of sweat will be going down. And even those that are competing now, for sure, it would give them a motivation to relax and play the game. Having sweats in the other team forces you to either quit the game or sweat yourself. Those are the two options. There's no other options to, just play normally. You can't just, if you were just a normal competitor, you play the game and you're pretty good at it. If you encounter a sweat, you for sure would try to sweat back, especially if they trash talking. You for sure would try to sweat back and go against them and play them. Especially if they sweat. I'm talking about those who jumping around corners. They know every movement. They got the headsets locked. They are playing the game extremely sweaty. For sure, if you just a normal player, I think he's getting noob and competitors, just, competitive nature, as he says, and sweats, mixed up, because competitive nature people just play the game normally. Yes, yeah, they'll probably get mad if they, they're on a streak and they die or something, or they're about to drop a Moab or a nuke and they die. Of course, they will get to that point where they like, oh my gosh, it will get them angry. But the thing is, it will die down the sweat because it'll give them a motivation to play the game a different way. Say like like I said, have you ever played with just knives? Have you ever played with just shotguns? Have you ever played with just Claymore, just played around with the Claymore, or even throw, smoke screens everywhere with the shield? Have you ever trolled the other team? Those are other casual plays. You know what I'm saying? So have you ever just came home from work and you played, remember Black Ops 1? You dropped dogs with just playing? Not even trying. You probably had one of your buddies in the game, and you weren't even sweating. You weren't doing no call outs. You weren't doing none of that. You were just playing normally. You dropped the Blackbird. Have you ever had that happen? Those are normal. That's just you can still be a competitive, have a competitive nature and play the game that way. Now, this is the problem with taking out league play. Now everyone has to sweat. It gives a motivation when skill-based matchmaking is involved. It gives motivation to everybody to sweat. When I have to go against a sweaty player and I want my camo challenge, I will just sweat now. Now I'll have to switch to the meta weapon. Why do you think everybody have a class where they're waiting for that sweaty lobby so that they can pull out that class and also sweat themselves? That's because of skill-based matchmaking. Without skill-based matchmaking, I remember in Black Ops 2, I never done that. MW2, I never done that. Black Ops 1, I never had like a class waiting for a sweat because I didn't encounter it that much. And now imagine if you also had server browsers. That's another thing they need to bring. You see all these implementation that would stop the sweating. League play, browsers, even when I play MW2 or MW3 on the PC. If there's a sweaty lobby, which there are, I can't sit there and say there's not a sweaty lobby. But if there are sweaty lobbies, I would just move server browsers. So if there are multiple server browsers, I'll just move away from that sweaty lobby and play another one. So, and that's what I'm trying to, I think he's getting confused, is that there are noobs, yes. And that's why they had, in Black Ops 1, they had boot camp for all the new players, and then you had competitive players, or casual players. Normally, as he says, competitive nature, casual players playing in normal public matches, and then you had sweats playing in league play. So yes, there'll still be sweats in normal public matches, I'm sure, but it would die down if you take out the skill-based matchmaking and add other things. Even though we had it in the previous games, add other things that would allow the players to stop sweating, give them motivation not to. How do you expect me to do my camos? How do you expect me to get my camos if I consistently have people that don't care about the camos, but is sweating? Do you see the difference? So that's what I'm saying. This theory is wrong. No, if they remove skill-based matchmaking, it'll for sure die down. I know I'll stop sweating. I'll stop. Yeah, there'll be a point where I'll probably get on. I kind of want to compete. With my buddies. Maybe I'll get a 6-man lobby. There are times where you do that, but that's really rare. When I was playing MW2 back then and Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, MW3 at that, I didn't feel the need to sweat. And I remember it was around Black Ops 2, the sweat started coming. I'm not going to lie. Skill-based matchmaking was in Black Ops 2, but it wasn't too crazy. Why? Because it was died down and there was league play, which balanced out the, competitive lobbies you got or super sweaty lobbies you got. Does that make any sense?
You know what I'm saying? And this is from my personal experience as well. I have been asking for skill-based matchmaking to be removed since, obviously the hype has even begun. And my goodness, I'm just thinking about myself. If they actually did tone down skill-based matchmaking, would I play any differently? Would I be kicking back? Would I, not want to chase streaks? Would I not want to go for frags and kills? Would I not want to do the things I'm doing in the gameplay footage that you see in the background here? Probably not. If they remove skill-based matchmaking, it would probably just make my life as a pub stomper even easier. Let's be real here, because it's going to bring back a lot more of that traditional matchmaking, the 50-50 lobbies,
But back then, how many people was getting pub stump like that? How come I don't remember getting pub stump that much back then? If there were a lot of sweats, you know what I'm saying? If there were a lot of pub stumpers, how come I wasn't getting pub stump? When I first started COD, I did have bad games where I was getting smoked, but I was getting kills back. That's the thing. If you're playing this game, that's why they have a skill-based matchmaking now, because they took out league play and people are sweating and noobs are quitting the game because they can't even get a kill in. You mean to tell me everybody in this playing Call of Duty now is like the noobs are that bad where they can't get a kill? I don't remember me having to go through that. I remember, yes, I had a terrible KD. I think I went like 6-21, but at least I got kills. You know what I'm saying? Like, there were lobbies I played here and I'm already good at the game where I went 6-20 something. What? So you mean, and I'm already good at the games. That means that person is super sweating where to the point I can barely get a kill. I should at least be going like 21-20, something like that. That's at least I'm getting double-digit kills. But there are games I remember playing when I played Black Ops 4 or MW 2019. I would get sweated on. And I would go super, super negative. And when I was a noob back in Black Ops 1 and back in COD 4, I would at least get kills and the game would still be fun because there are other ways to get kills, man. There were noob tube, there were grenades. You can barely get that here in these type of games because people have some weird movement. They have ways to dodge these things. And the thing is, now they got flat jack and all that stuff. So you can't tell me that people would just go sweaty mode because the skill-based matchmaking taking off. I'm thinking of it myself too. I would find other ways to play the game and have fun, because wouldn't it get boring at some point if you just pub stump? Am I tripping? Wouldn't it get boring at some point? And this is why people find other ways to play the game. And this is why party games were a thing. You see why they thought of everything back then. This is why party game was a thing, because public match could be fun at some point. And then at some point it gets a little boring. This is why I got to give it a break and play a different way. Because if I'm just playing with the same gun, say I'm pub stumping every game, that's not fun every game. I'm going to be honest, in my opinion, that's not fun every game. I would like to play the game a different way. That's why I play with a riot shield. I mess around. I throw throwing knives. I throw smoke grenades. If I'm playing domination, I smoke grenade B like consistently. I would smoke grenade and I'll die, and I'll smoke grenade B consistently. I used to do that back then, and now I'll pick up B. That was fun. There are different ways to play the game. It's not just pub stumping all the time. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, and this is why they had party game, one in the chamber. You just played that. Those were for people that played the game. They were OGs at the game. They played the game and they wanted to play the game a different way. That's why gun game was a thing, and one in a chamber, sticks and stones. That's why those game modes were a thing. Even in Black Ops 3, Safeguard. That's why that game was a thing. So you can't tell me it's just pub stumping all the time. No, you would want to play the game. There are other ways to play the game casually. It's not just pub stumping. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like I said, have you ever played the game with just shotguns? Have you ever played the game with just throwing knives and what's that? That ballistic knife? Have you ever played the game that way? With just pistols only? Shotguns? Those are all the fun ways to play a game. It's not just pub stumping.
To remove it without saying a word. I want them to do a test on the Call of Duty community. I guarantee that if they removed skill-based matchmaking right now, nobody would notice with how dang sweaty this community has become. It really comes down to us. It really is the player base. The way we played COD back in the day is just simply not how we play it today. The scene back in the day is a completely different scene compared to what we see today. COD has simply evolved. It really has.
Do you want to know why the COD community changed? Because of the things they added and taken away. Just like skill-based matchmaking. You add it in, everybody becomes a sweat at some point. It's just inevitable. Everybody becomes a sweat. And even if they take it out, why people would still be sweating? Because that's the norm now. Back then it was only casuals, so of course casual was the thing. Now that it's just sweats all the time, of course if they take it out, it still would be sweats. But I feel like if they do tell everybody they took it out and brought league play, brought all the stuff they had back then, it would die down. I didn't say it would take out all the sweats, but it will die down, and it will give everybody, the casuals, an opportunity to play the game normally. If you are a casual player, and the thing is, Call of Duty can be competitive. It can be. I'm not saying take out competitive, periodly, but my goodness, move that to another bracket. Let the casuals play. If I want to play casual, or should I say the people that have competitive natures play it normally, let them play it normally. And if you want to sweat, there's a difference between competitive and sweating. Sweating is insane, just going crazy. You know what sweating means. So if they do take it out surprisingly and don't tell everybody, yeah, there might still be sweats, but people might figure it out and be like, oh, skill-based matchmaking is off. So of course it will give the motivation to relax and play the game normally. Especially people that are playing, and again, this is an immature game. Grown people, they are grown men playing this. So imagine you coming from home and you actually have a relaxed game. I don't have to reverse boost to get a relaxed game. I can just play the game normally. Of course, I would I would run to MW2 right now, 2022. I would run to MW 2022 right now and play it right now, because that would give me a motivation to play the game more. I would actually want to play it. But when you have skill-based matchmaking in there, of course it won't give me a motivation to play. It just won't. I am telling you, I played Black Ops 3. I had sweaty lobbies. I played MW 2019 where I first started. I dropped like 50 kills, 40 kills almost. And the next few games, I'm getting 40 kills drop on me. No, I don't want to play like that. I would want occasional, games here and there. And another thing with skill-based matchmaking, it mess up the connection. I've heard people complain about this too. And the disbanding lobbies and, getting, taking forever to find a game because the ricochet, whatever thing gotta look for your stats, and players around your stats are better than you. When you have to deal with these also downside of that too, that's where the problems happen. And bringing servers back would also take away that effect. Do you see what I'm saying? So there are ways to chill out the sweats, or take out the sweats if you know how to do it right. There are things. I'm giving solutions now. Bring back league play, bring back boot camp mode, bring back server browser, like bring that, stop the disbanding lobbies and stuff like that. People would have a less of a reason to reverse boost and do all of that. So you can't tell me that taking out skill-based matchmaking don't have a good. It's not just taking out the sweats. There are good things that comes with it. It will change the community again. It will change the community. Not all the way to how it was back in the days, I would say, but at least it would do a major change in the community. People would relax and play the game. Streamers will be able to commentate. Why do you think there's no more live commentary now? Because too many sweats. Why do you think Allier had to pre-record his gameplay and fake his gameplay? Because there are too many sweats. There, you just cannot get on the game and play normally no more. It's just, that's not how they want it to be, and that's not how it is. So why do you think there's no more live commentary? I've been trying to bring live commentary back. I only can do it in the old games. When I used to play MW 2019, I couldn't do it. I had to pre-record and get a good game. You see why people got to get a good game? Because sweating came back. And this was around Black Ops 2. I can't lie. It was around Black Ops 2 where people couldn't do live commentary no more. Back in MW2, Black Ops 1, live commentary was a thing consistently. Now, there's no more live commentary because of that. And this is what this guy got to understand. There's a difference between noobs, casuals, and sweats. Casuals can be competitive too. They can. Casuals can be competitive. Sweats are just going straight for stats and, smoking the lobby. That's what they're there for. And noobs are just people that's just starting to play the game. Even then, they can still pick it up. It's not that hard to play the game. It's harder now because there are too many sweats. It's hard to play the game with all these movements and mounting on walls. Of course, the game is harder to play. And you can still have your hardcore players. You can still have them. I'm not saying get rid of sweats, but it will die down. Separate. We need some type of separation. We need some type of separation between the three, or even add in noobs with the casual. Sometimes that can happen. You can have sweats with competitive. Sometimes that would happen sometimes back then, but now it's consistent. And here's what I'm trying to say here. This guy made this video and it's clickbaity. I know he don't believe in skill-based matchmaking. I know he doesn't. But saying that taking out skill-based matchmaking will continue the sweat, it's not true. I think that theory is not true. I believe it's not, especially if you add the things I said in this video. So you guys let me know what y'all think about this video. I had to respond to this because it got me. I got to clickbait it. I clicked on the video and I watched it. Towards the end, I know he doesn't support it. He said it himself. But why make a title that way, right? But you guys let me know what y'all think about this. Would skill-based matchmaking if it's removed, will the sweats continue to be sweats? Let me know in the comments. You can give your opinion on this matter too. It's not just me. Give your opinion on too. Maybe you agree with him, maybe you don't. Give me your opinion in the comments also. Thanks for watching. I know I'm supposed to do this God of War review. I'm still working on it. It still will come out. Thanks for watching.